You could make the case that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. should have chapters about him when you get history books in schools, in high school, junior high, uh, or middle school or elementary. You can make the case. When people talk about they scared of woke or they scared of being taught rights, well, how do you talk about it when I mention Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.? How do you avoid what he represented? And you know he's a very polarizing figure because the ones who be lying and downplaying his significance use him and misquote him. The ones who support him look at him like a rise of the sun. He had that kind of aura and vibrance about him. You know, he was only on this planet for 39 years, but he made each one of them count. You may as well call it 390 because his impact is so felt. You can't even talk about job and placements and things without mentioning him. You can't even talk about Bill of Rights or anything without mentioning him. He was a dominant, towering figure, one of the greatest orators ever, and somebody that symbolized freedom. And it's amazing how his words still resonate and how no matter who's in the White House, whatnot, they have to go through him. But how come he's not even talked about more in the books of history? Because when you understand the totality, it's used kind of like it's like a tokenism to a certain extent. How come it isn't talked out even more about what he represented? Because his I have a dream speech and everything like that, his everything he went through, you could get a history book in school and you could learn American history through what he went through his eyes, through his speeches, through his vision, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Don't get it twisted. He went through all of it in a short time, but he flipped the script. He went through it in ways a lot of people can't even imagine. The totality, the segregation, and everything that he fought against. So when I think about it, I'm thinking like, yeah, y'all owe that man chapters. Y'all owe him a whole history book. You could actually have like the Dr. Martin Luther King course in high school or middle school, and there wouldn't be nothing wrong with it because his impact is felt in everything of totality. Whatever you learn about something, it's almost like you could hear him talking about it and how it was contextualized and how it was the context and just the whole ramifications and what he went through and the legalities. See, people don't ever want to hear the truth. They say, "Oh, you will," and you just try to. Why you gotta do that with that? Because they don't want to hear you tell the facts about a man who went through the water hoses, the separate water fountains, the separate movie theaters, the separate schools, separate way of life. That's what he fought up against. That's what his life was like. And it was done that way, sadly, and it was somehow justified. So when you see these so-called presidents or these so-called vice presidents or senators or governors go on about, and they signed it, Reagan signed in the bill about him, but they also discriminate against him. That's right. They were not fans of it. They were not cool with that, and they did not want to be a part of that. So it's funny in hindsight what you see, what he represented, what he meant, and how his words have been used to sell their agenda. And I seen on both sides, and it ain't been the way it's supposed to be. So that man deserves even more respect than he's ever gotten. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like and hit that membership because when you do video requests like this come true, stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm on one time. Peace.